Welcome to Focus on Buddhism. So far in this series of Focus on Buddhism, we have been mainly concerned with brief studies of the Buddha's teachings. I presume you would agree with me if I tell you that any teaching or doctrine is not of much value if it cannot be put into practice. This is more so in Buddhism. The Buddha's teachings are merely a set of guidelines for a person who is willing to tread the path to overcome the unsatisfactoriness of life. The Buddha's teachings have been compared to a location map. It only shows you the way. You yourself have to travel the path to reach your destination. Now, how can we find the way out of the unsatisfactoriness of life? How can we find out the nature of our existence? How can we know whether what the Buddha uttered was true or false? Can we verify without any doubt in our mind that existence is unsatisfactory? That the root of all this unsatisfactoriness is craving? That the unsatisfactoriness of life can, in fact, be overcome? And can we be sure that the path mentioned by the Buddha is the correct path to follow? The Buddha prescribed a system of meditation, now known as Buddhist meditation, as a means to achieve these objectives. To find out answers to questions a beginner in meditation is likely to pose, we went to meet Phra Khantipalo, the abbot of Wat Buddha Dharma, a forest meditation centre in Wiseman's Ferry. The centre is located in the heart of Darrag National Park, about a half-an-hour drive into the park along a gravel road. Phra Khantipalo is a well-known and respected meditation teacher. Some time prior to setting up Wat Buddha Dharma, Phra Khantipalo spent some 11 years in Thailand, where he practiced meditation under various great meditation teachers. He has also written numerous books on Buddhism, including one in particular called Calm and Insight, a very comprehensive account on meditation and ideal for anyone who is interested in meditating. Firstly, we posed the question, why should one meditate?
Everybody's got a distracted mind, or a worried mind, a mind which is troubled in some way, wandering mind, unpeaceful mind. So this is the reason why one should meditate. I mean, if you have something very expensive, some piece of recording machinery or something like that, very expensive, and you don't keep it in good trim, you don't look after it, you just let it decay. You'd be a pretty stupid person to do that. But then we never think about our minds, and we never think how important it is to keep our minds in good trim, and to keep the troubles and the hassles at bay. Yeah? This is what meditation is about. It's a way of maintaining the mind in good condition and developing it still further so that its condition actually improves.
So, Bhante, do you think a person involved in normal day-to-day activities can gain anything from practicing meditation, or does it have to be a mystic or somebody secluded?
Yeah, I suppose if meditation is only for people who can seclude themselves, wouldn't be much use, would it? I mean, people in Thailand have this idea too, where I stayed for many years. You know, the idea, if you're going to be a meditator, you've got to go to the jungle, you see. So it'd be like spending all your time out in the bush in this country. But the way I see it, with the pace of life increasing and people's stress and strain becoming more, meditation is an invaluable aid to the mind. It really helps where nothing else can help. You see, meditation is the way of helping one's own mind. Nobody really, other than oneself, can do that. But you also need some instruction and some guidance with that. And so it's far superior to drugs to help to control the mind, although they're perhaps necessary sometimes. And it's also superior to getting various kinds of treatment for the mind, because they may be necessary too on occasion, because this meditation practice is something that one does for oneself. It's something that everybody should do, ordinary people should do. I mean, ordinary people, they have breakfast, they have lunch, they have dinner, they have tea and so forth, you see. They keep their bodies together. But ordinary people neglect their minds. Why? They don't do anything for the mind. They just do things for the body. So it should be something that's suitable for everybody, a good thing for everybody.
There are a lot of different types of meditation around today. Can you explain the difference between Buddhist meditation and other types of meditation, Bhante?
Oh, well, there's also quite a lot of different types of Buddhist meditation around. Buddhist meditation aims at liberating the mind from trouble and difficulty. Aims at first calming the mind down and then gaining insight through that calm. To talk about that's quite a big subject. But other types of meditation, well, they aim at worldly success, for instance. You know, you repeat this mantra and you get $1 million or something like that. Or they aim at psychic powers, so as to make you able to fly or to read others' minds or do other strange things of this sort. Now, Buddhist meditation is not for any of these purposes. Buddhist meditation is to enable one to find peace and happiness in oneself. And a peace and happiness in oneself that will make one a compassionate and loving person towards others. So a meditator just isn't a selfish person. You see, the benefits of meditation are for other people too.
It is claimed that certain powers, such as levitation or reading other people's minds, etc., can be gained by meditation. In fact, certain meditation programs are directly concerned with the achievement of such powers. Possibly the greatest difference between Buddhist meditation and other types of meditation is the difference in the attitude towards these powers. In Buddhist meditation, these powers are considered merely incidental to the practice of purifying the mind, or in other words, the eradication of greed, hatred and delusion. And, in fact, in Buddhist meditation, it is strongly recommended to let go of these powers and not to get attached to them. They are treated just like any other form of greed.
See, the Buddha, he saw that whether you can fly or not is not the main point. It's beside the point. Really, what's important is to have a peaceful mind, a peaceful and compassionate mind, a mind with wisdom, loving kindness. Now, these are the important things. And whether or not you can fly, that's not very important. Whether or not you can read others' minds, that's not very important. In fact, these things, they can be dangerous because they can give people a sense of power, and they can increase the sense of ego, be quite dangerous in that way. So the Buddha emphasized the direct way, and the most important thing, that is happiness and peace in this life, and the development of loving kindness and compassion towards others.
Bhante, can meditation be dangerous for certain people?
Yeah, well, it's not really meditation that's dangerous. It's people's minds that are dangerous. In the practice of meditation, there's nothing dangerous at all. In fact, it's more dangerous not to meditate than it is to meditate. But if some people are a little bit, maybe a little bit upset in their minds, a little bit troubled, to take up meditation might not be the best thing in some cases. In other cases, it's a matter of having a wrong motive. The motive for taking up meditation is the wrong motive. And so because the motive is to gain power over others or something like that, be able to control other people. So you have a bad motive, and then the meditation is that might produce really dangerous results.
In some traditions, it is a requirement that the would-be meditator first become a convert in order to commence the practice. However, Buddhist meditation does not place such restrictions on a person who is genuinely concerned with developing his or her mind. I asked Phra Khantipalo whether one has to become a Buddhist in order to practice Buddhist meditation.
Oh no. No. We've already been talking about non-Buddhist meditation, and there are all sorts of people who practice meditation in this world. And when people come to What Buddha Dhamma here, they're, well, I suppose most of them aren't anything. You know, some people are Buddhist, and other people don't have any particular religious tradition. A few people might be inclined towards Hinduism, and then we get a few Christians as well come to meditate. So it's certainly open to everybody. Everybody has the same mind troubles, and the process of controlling the mind is the same for everybody, whatever they believe, actually. No, you don't have to become a Buddhist. And people who do come to Wat Buddha Dhamma, we don't try to, of course, to make them Buddhist. That wouldn't be a Buddhist thing to do at all.
Perhaps one of the most misconceived aspects of meditation is the fact that meditation is considered as something separate from day-to-day living. It is quite often considered as a mere religious practice. Intensive meditation, when one sits for 45 minutes or an hour, should be considered as mere training of the mind with the aim of bringing about an increase in one's awareness in daily life. Awareness in daily activities, in turn, develops one's meditation practice. Ideally, for meditation practice, one would require a quiet, secluded place, but these conditions are seldom available in household life. So I asked Phra Khantipalo about the importance of a suitable place and time for meditation.
Yes. Well, a secluded place is useful sometimes. I mean, it gives you a little bit of inspiration. You can go to a place which is very quiet and calm for your practice. That's good. But most people don't live in places like that. So come to a secluded place from time to time. This is one of those nice places. But if you're not able to live in a place like that, it means you have to do your meditation where you're living. And that might not be so secluded. However, you do need a certain degree of quietness in the morning, perhaps, or in the evening. And this is why most people who live up in town, they get up a little bit earlier to meditate, so that it's still fairly quiet, and they're not disturbed by other people in the house and that sort of thing. Or else they do their meditation in the evening after they've come back from work, and depends. Some people find the mornings better, some people find the evenings better. But anyway, you mostly have to meditate where you are, obviously, where you live.
Bhante, does a person have to sit in meditation for a particular length of time in order to become peaceful? And is the longer you sit, the better?
Well, no. No particular length of time, but probably not less than 20 minutes or half an hour. You're not giving yourself time if you try for a shorter time than that. Yes, the wrong idea that the more you do, the better. That's the idea that quantity actually is better than quality. See, quality is the thing. It doesn't matter. You may be sitting there for an hour or two, and you've got such a confused mind, and it's thinking or going all over the place, and that sort of thing. Well, that's no good. Or some people, they get into trances and that sort of thing. They just sit there, and they sit, and they sit, and they sit, and then they get up, and they feel all heavy, and their eyes are sort of glued together, and they can do nothing except sleep after that. Well, that's no good. I mean, they've done a lot of sitting, but it's not. There's no quality there at all. There's no brightness there. There's no mindfulness or awareness there. So one teacher in Thailand, he said, yes, that's like the chooks. The chooks sit on the eggs for a long, long time. The only thing that they get is chicks, you see. That's all that they get out of it. They don't get a good mind. So people who sit for a long, long time, if they're just aiming at quantity like that, that's all they get out of it too.
Bhante, can you please explain for the absolute beginner, how does one sit in meditation? What about the posture? Can we lie down to meditate?
Well, I've known people try lying down to meditate, but all that they end up by doing is snoring. So it's not very effective. You can do standing, walking, and sitting meditation. You can do 3 out of 4 postures, but lying down is not successful. The reason is that you're not alert enough when lying down. So alertness is very important. Most people, they sit in meditation, but one can also do walking, as I mentioned. So then, actually, meditation, for sitting, you need to have a straight back. You can sit on a chair, but you have to sit on a firm, hard chair with a straight back. If you sit on the ground, whatever meditation posture you adopt, you must have a straight back. A crooked back, a rounded back, is no good. That means that you go to sleep, or you get sleepy sooner or later if you don't keep your back straight. That's a very, very important thing. As to how to sit, well, if you're going to sit on the ground in a traditional way, then you need some kind of padded surface to sit on. Don't try sitting on concrete or tiles. A thick rug or something like that is very suitable, which is at the same time firm. You don't want to sit on very springy kind of things. And then on top of that, you need a firm cushion, 1 or 2. That goes to support the body, and you need to have those kind of cushions which won't sort of go down to nothing when you sit on them. Not these silly foam things. You need something with kapok or something like that inside. Folded blankets are a good substitute. Really firm, and at the same time they're not too hard. And then you have to adjust the height of your sitting according to what you feel is comfortable. You must aim in sitting to get your knees on the ground. So your hind end is up on the cushions and your knees are on the ground. And then what you'd actually do with the lower part of your legs varies. Some people can get into full lotus, some people can do half lotus. That's fine if you can. And if you can't, there are various other possibilities. One of the best is kneeling with the cushions between the legs. It's also possible to make a kind of sitting stool. If you come to Waisnansferry, we'll show you how to make those. A kind of sitting stool that takes the weight of the body when you're kneeling. That's very good also.
Bhante, what does one actually do in meditation? What should one be thinking about? Or should one be thinking about anything at all?
Mostly one shouldn't be thinking about things because that's what one's doing all the time. And because we think about things, we never actually get to know the truth. So the process of meditation, most kinds of Buddhist meditation that is the way of leading the mind not to think, leading the mind to be aware and bright, but without thoughts. There are some kinds of meditation where a certain amount of discursive thinking is all right, like loving-kindness meditation. But even that becomes non-discursive when it's developed, you see. You only need words as a kind of a beginning. But in most kinds of meditation, what you do is, well, after you've sat down and you've got your body comfortable and you don't move anymore and all those kind of things, you see, you're really seated firm like a big rock in the middle of a field. Then, having put the body at ease, you just get to know your breath. Just become aware of the breath as it goes in and comes out. That's a very good meditation method. And just observe, observe the touch of the breath. You know it as it goes in, you know it as it goes out. And you just let the thoughts go as they arise. Whatever thoughts, religious thoughts, unreligious thoughts, happy thoughts, unhappy thoughts, hateful thoughts, loving thoughts, whatever kind of thoughts, you just let them go as they arise. And just watch the breath. So, mostly, meditation in a Buddhist sense means not thinking. But it doesn't mean what not thinking means in English. Not thinking means one's an unthinking person. It's a bad thing. Huh? But in the Buddhist tradition, if you're unthinking, that's rather good, because you've got a direct mind that knows directly without all this confusion of words in the head.
Bhante, what should we do when pain arises, for example in our knees and legs? How can we avoid it?
Oh, pain. You can't avoid pain. Pain arises, it's going to arise. And if you shift around, some people, they shift around in meditation, it sounds like they're a chook in a chook yard. Scratch, 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 scratch. Can't sit still. So you can't escape from pain in that way. Impossible. The only thing is to sit and just to watch the pain. The pain is not too bad. You can do that. It's not so hard. Just watch the pain arising and passing away. If you become very intent on the pain, sometimes the pain will vanish too. So it's not really a big problem.
One of the most difficult problems to deal with when one is sitting in meditation is one's own thoughts. Right now, let's just sit quietly, close our eyes, and just observe the thoughts that arise in our minds. Did you notice the amount of thoughts that flooded your mind? Well, the problem is how to deal with this never-ceasing river of thoughts when one sits in meditation. One cannot say firmly, "Go away," to the thoughts. They won't go away. In fact, if you try to suppress the thoughts, they become even more powerful. I asked Phra Khantipalo how to deal with them. Should I try to force them away?
You're going to force your mind, are you? So, it suggests that there must be at least two of you. That is, there's me, there's myself, who's going to order or force my mind to be peaceful. See? So there's me and there's my mind. That's at least two people. Now, actually, it can't be like that there's two people here. There's just a mind there. So this mind, that goes on, that has various thoughts arising in it. All that you need to do is to let the thoughts go. Like I said before, You can let the thoughts go and let the thoughts go. And gradually, through the practice of letting thoughts go, you find that your mind becomes peaceful and attentive. And the mind starts to have clear patches where there aren't any thoughts anymore. And that kind of mind is very, very nice, a very happy mind, very good mind, you see. So I should try to not to force the mind to be peaceful, but just to observe. Just to observe the breath and let the thoughts go, and be patient at doing that, and keep on doing it. And just let the thoughts go, let the thoughts go. Don't follow them up. Just let them go as soon as they arise. As soon as it arises, drop it. It arises, I'll drop it. And then when you have the time there, you go back to the breath. Go back to the breath. You keep on the breath, and another thought comes, and then you drop it. That sort of thing. And so the mind will become peaceful this way, in a natural way, without any forcing. That's the best way.
Unfortunately, due to limitation of time, we are unable to continue with this interview tonight. However, the second part of the interview can be heard next week when Phra Khantipalo will discuss more about meditation practice and how meditation can be integrated into our daily lives. He will also be discussing the effect of meditation on interpersonal relationships. So tune in next week at the same time on 2SER. Listeners who are interested in meditation and who wish to gain more information about it, and also do some meditation practice themselves, can join regular meditation retreats conducted by Phra Khantipalo at Wat Buddha Dharma Forest Monastery in Wiseman's Ferry. These retreats are designed for absolute beginners as well as for more advanced meditators. They are conducted on a voluntary contribution basis. For more information, please ring 043 73 1193 in the mornings only. The number to ring is 043 73 1193. Sydney Zen Centre has Zen meditation on Monday, Wednesday and Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. There are also regular orientation and meditation days. All are welcome. The Zen Centre is located at 251 Young Street, Annandale. Phone 660-2993. 660-2993. This program was sponsored by Mr. Michel de Grief and was brought to you by the Buddha Dharma Society of Sydney. May you all be well and happy.